Jack, thank you. Your talk is one of the most intellectually honest things said about AI memory. That stuffing a context window is not the same as remembering. This is a reply, and mostly an agreement, with one real disagreement at the end. Your thesis is sharp. Stuffing context is not memory. Updating weights is. And your deeper cut, that vector stores, retrieval, and scratchpads implement lookup, not memory. That, you said, is a category error. On the naive version of that, we completely agree. Dumping documents into a context window or a similarity search that just finds the nearest old case is not memory. It is a photocopier with a good index. So the first thing to say is simply, you are right. A bigger window or a bigger pile of embeddings is not remembering. Structure is the thing that's missing. But here is where I'll gently widen the frame. You set up a binary, context or weights. There is a third path you walk right past. A structured, external substrate. Not the transient context, not the frozen weights. A durable, structured memory the model reads and writes. That is what Nexus is. Put simply, you do not retrain a librarian every time a new book arrives. You file it. The librarian's skills live in training. The library's contents live in structure. Confusing the two is the real category error. So, how is this not the lookup you dismissed? Because it isn't a flat pile you search by similarity. Every fact lives on a self-describing map, and the substrate routes to the right model before it retrieves. Here it is in the real product, a model registry, your knowledge filed in categories, the whole hierarchy on one screen. Structure, not a scratchpad. You made a precise point. Retrieval generalizes by similarity to stored cases. True. And that is exactly why we do not stop at similarity. Semantic search dreams up candidates. The structure then checks them against the graph. One dreams, the other verifies. This is a real workspace as a single picture. The dashed lines are the hierarchy. The solid arrows are the links between models. Meaning and structure, side by side. Now the thing weights simply cannot do. Every fact here is versioned. Ask a trained model what it learned, or when it learned it, and it cannot answer. Let me show you a real one rather than assert it. This sale was first recorded at 1200, then corrected to 1500. The timeline holds both, version 0 and version 1, and Nexus tells you precisely what changed. The amount from 1200 to 1500. Not merely that something changed. What changed and when. This is the quiet cost of weight memory. A weight remembers, but it cannot show you its receipts. Structure can. And it learns without a training run. When the system does work, it writes back what it learned. A reflection, stored as structure. New knowledge, no retraining, and no catastrophic forgetting. But it isn't only the agent that evolves. The structure evolves too. A small business might begin with just two models, sales and purchases. As it grows, it needs bank, then payroll. In a trained model, that is a retraining problem. In a rigid database, it is a migration. Here it is simply a new model, standing alongside the old ones. This is one real workspace that grew exactly that way. Sales, then invoices, jobs, expenses, decisions, study notes. Each added when the need appeared. The schema expanded to fit the business. Nothing was migrated, and nothing was lost. Which brings me to the biggest problem with weights as memory. They are the ultimate lock-in. You cannot lift a memory out of one model's weights and carry it to another. But a structured substrate, you take it with you. It connects through one open door. Any capable model points at your endpoint, and the model is just the visitor. The memory stays. The model can change. And weights forget catastrophically. Teach a model a new skill, and it can lose an old one. A substrate never forgets. Every fact is kept. So here is my one real disagreement. You said real memory is updating weights. For skills, For learning to reason, to generalize to inputs never seen, you are right, and structure does not replace that. But for the memory a business actually runs on, who the customer is, what we decided, what changed last week. Weights are the wrong tool. Because a weight cannot be audited, cannot be versioned, cannot be edited, and cannot be carried. Your operational memory should be all four. You would never store your company's ledger by fine-tuning a model on it. So it isn't context, and it isn't only weights. For the memory you have to trust, it is a substrate, structured, versioned, auditable, self-evolving in both its knowledge and its shape, and portable. Thank you, Jack, for drawing the line so clearly. We think the answer lives just past it. This is Nexus.